Up next, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call back Leher Sethi for our next session. Which is one-on-one with Mr. Kapil Mishra. That's right, he's the Honorable Cabinet Minister, Government of Delhi. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a very, very, very loud round of applause for the Honorable Cabinet Minister of the Government of Delhi. I'd also like to request Mr. Arjun Kapoor, Business Head of SoDelhi, and Praveen Tiwari, VP Sales and Marketing, to please join us here to facilitate the Honorable Minister on this occasion. So, requesting everybody to join us for this one-on-one tete-a-tete. Thank you. Can we have Arjun and Praveen over here? There we go. Fantastic. And Praveen? There we have him. All right, folks, there we have it. Facilitating the Honorable Minister for joining us this afternoon, Mr. Kapil Mishra over here, and the SoDelhi team. As we get the conversation,
Kapil Mishra is a cabinet minister in the government of NCT, the National Capital Territory of Delhi. He has been elected as the MLA representing Karwal Nagar constituency in the 6th Legislative Assembly of Delhi. He is a well-known politician, a political activist, and a public policy campaigner. He has worked with eminent international organizations like Greenpeace and Amnesty International. He was one of the first people to protest against the Commonwealth Games 2010 held in New Delhi, and he's also written a book called It's Common versus Wealth, highlighting the various scams and social and environmental concerns related with CWG 2010. He's also exposed the issues of violation of labor laws at the Games sites. He's initiated and participated in various protests against exploitation of the common people and the common resources in the name of growth and development. As the co-founder and coordinator of Youth for Justice, a New Delhi-based youth action group that works on spontaneous issues that need cognizance, he has also led the youth protest on various socio-economic issues, most importantly, the exploitation of the Yamuna. Welcome, Kapil. I must tell everyone how I know Kapil. So this would kind of, in a way, we would be documenting the fact that responsible governance can be influenced by social media. Well, I had a problem with my water bill. I got a bill for 58,000 rupees last month. And I tweeted to Mr. Kapil Mishra with the Aam Aadmi Party handle and Mr. Kejriwal. And within, I think, 10-15 minutes, he replied saying that he would look into the matter and see what can be done. And sure enough, within the next 10 days, I had my issue resolved and I had my money, refunded to me. So that is a little background to let you know what the conversation is going to be about today. We're going to discuss whether, responsible governance can be affected by social media or not. So, Kapil, Aam Aadmi Party has a huge following on social media. You take Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and they're all a part and feature of modern life. And it's very easy now for users to kind of connect with, government officials, with institutions. So my question to you is that, does it also help your government? Has it helped your government, the current Delhi government?
Definitely. I think every day when you are getting live feedback from people all across the city, live feedback from citizens, it does help. And it lets you know the ground reality. For example, sitting in my office, I'm sure that we are doing the maximum production ever of water. We have these many kilometers of distribution lines. All my plants are working. But then there is someone sitting in an unauthorized colony and they are not getting water for 10 days. It's very difficult for me to know about it, and it's very difficult for them to reach out to me. But with Twitter, anyone can just tag me and let me know about it. And if you go to my timeline, you will actually see 50% of my timeline is about people actually complaining, letting me know about their issues, and we responding to them. So I think it is a very good medium to know about the ground realities, very good medium to connect with the people, and also very good medium to get trolled.
Exactly. So my next question was coming to that. So besides popularity, I think there are also a lot of risks associated with it. Like, for example, with this particular issue, both of us got spammed by a lot of people saying that this was all staged. That we had actually gotten together, sat together, thought, okay, let's do this, planned it all. You send me a bill and then, I will raise an issue and then you solve it and all of that. So how do you deal with it? And has your government been affected by things like this?
I think there is a block button, and that's how I deal with it. So there are people who would like to take to on your nerves. They would like to irritate you. They would like to raise invalid questions, raise finger on your character, raise finger on the kind of things that you are doing. There are two kind of people. One who are there only to irritate you, only to make you frustrated. And then there are people who are really frustrated with the system and they are there with genuine complaints. So we need to identify the difference and we need to handle both kind of people differently. So for example, last night I got an individual who tweeted to me that I have complained at least 10 times and you are doing nothing and you are the worst water minister ever. So I never blocked him. Next morning, today at 6 o'clock, there was a DJB guy visiting at his place, inspecting the problem, solving his problem. And then again this morning at around 12, he tweeted that his issue is resolved. But then there are people who will just be there to kind of troll you, to kind of scold you, to kind of make you frustrated about issues. So you need to understand the difference and then you need to filter it and then you need to treat every individual differently. I think that's what the key is. And you need to keep your calm.
Okay, so there's, something called digital wildfires that has kind of, come up, wherein people purposely spread rumors and false alarms and say false things or, and then they'll tag you and then they'll make it go viral. Has that ever happened with you and how have you dealt with it?
I think those things are happening for sure. Fake post, fake pics, fake Twitter profile, fake Facebook profile. I have at least 5 fake Facebook profiles and at least 2 fake Twitter profiles that I am aware of. There are people who are doing it for fun. I think it's okay. It is part of social media life and it should be encouraged, it should be allowed. But then there are people who do it with very wrong intention and they put in resources behind it. For example, last week, there was a fake post. So there was this fake post created in my name where images of funeral of Sant Nirankari Baba was used as if I am talking about it and I am spreading it as Aam Aadmi Party rally. And this fake post was spread all across India. It was like almost kind of a sponsored post. And then I started getting calls from all across places. Like I started getting calls where people were threatening me that they will kill me, they will hit me, and how can I talk something like this? And then I was forced to actually go to the police and file an FIR against those individuals. And then at the end of the day, we realized that it is some IT convener of a particular political party from Gujarat actually, creating and spreading it all across. But I think if we can avoid that, otherwise all these parody accounts, fake posts, all those things, I think it is also part of social media life and it's fun. Yeah. For example, there is a very infamous troll account of Arvind Kejriwal ji, and I follow that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's quite a funny one. Yeah. Okay. Do you also feel that social media can increase the transparency in government?
Yes,
and
definitely.
also humanize institutions, because a lot of people find it very difficult to actually go to an institution, sit at the reception, then, fill out a form and all of that. So a lot of institutions like the Delhi police, for example, is now online. So you can also approach them. How do you think that works?
So there are two sides of it. One, definitely it's humanize the institution. For example, you can't think of reaching out to a minister so easily earlier. And it becomes almost very difficult to even know where exactly the office is, how to get an appointment, how to reach out to, how to talk to. And if at all you end up in one particular office, it's not very easy to get that kind of time and attention. So right now that has changed. Anyone can create an entire video clip and share it and tag it on Facebook or Twitter. And one can be very sure about it that the message is reaching out there. There are people who are reading it. There are people who will be responding to it. So that way it has become, and then you also know about the individual who are running the ministry, who are running an office. For example, highest number of likes that I ever got was about a picture of me with my daughter. So I was sharing everything about my work, all the pipelines, all the art and culture events and everything that is happening all across the city. And after around 15-20 days, when the Munnak Canal was damaged, and everyone was aware that we are working on the Munnak Canal and water distribution, after 15 days, I got a time with my daughter, and I posted that pic on my Facebook, and that got the highest number of likes ever. So that is the human face of the government, the human face of the politician, and when people see, okay, they are also like us, they also have a family life, they also have their, those kind of priorities. So that's one thing. And as far as transparency is concerned, definitely yes. For example, if I announce that today I am inaugurating 8 new libraries in my constituency, I can just send a press release, get it published in a newspaper, or get it covered by electronic media. But then there are people, youth, living in that constituency who actually can go and check whether it has actually happened or not, whether these libraries are functional or not. And then they can always come back and make it sure that they are talking about it on social media. So you can't lie. You can't be dishonest. And you can't just, there are people who are doing that even on social media. But then I think it's not easy anymore. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were having this discussion the other day. President Obama made a video about himself, as in, on what he's going to do after he retires. And, he's cracked a lot of jokes on other fellow politicians. When is that ever, if ever, going to happen with Indian politicians? Why is it that Indian politicians take themselves so seriously? There's never anything funny that anybody can say. You can't poke fun at anybody. There's a controversy. People will ask questions. Recently, Tanmay Bhatt made a video wherein he's joking about Sachin Tendulkar. And people just, they just can't take a joke, isn't it?
Why Indian politicians take themselves so seriously? I think because no one else does. So that's why. I think, yes, we need to learn to, laugh about ourselves, and that's happening. Things are changing for sure. As far as Tanmay Bhatt issue is concerned, I think only those people are talking about Tanmay Bhatt who don't want to talk about Eknath Khatse. I think it is as simple as that. You go to Twitter, you go to Facebook, and it's like very clear difference. The people who want to avoid any discussion on Eknath Khatse, they will ensure that people are talking about Tanmay Bhatt. Otherwise, the only thing wrong about that Tanmay Bhatt post is, it was I think this is the only joke which is most boring joke of Tanmay Bhatt. That's it. I think, and nothing wrong, nothing more. I think that's the only wrong thing about that, yeah.
All right. So you feel that that's going to change?
It has to. And people sitting in this room, I think we all have to ensure that it should change. People sitting in this room have the potential to bring the change. And I think together we are going to make that change happen for sure.
Well, we hope that happens. How much do you feel that social media has helped you in reaching and connecting with the youth of Delhi?
So let me tell you something about it. I was studying social work from Delhi University, and at that time, this court verdict on Jessica Lal case was there. And literally, court almost declared that no one has killed Jessica. I was the president of Student Union in Delhi School of Social Work, and we decided that we need to do something about it. And next day in Delhi University, we organized a candlelight march. And then there were so many candlelight marches, so many protests started happening all across the country. And it was first time when a court case was reopened in the entire history of this country. That has happened actually. And we used what? We used Orkut for that. We were actually creating communities on Orkut. We were inviting people through Orkut. And there were people coming for that. And then the entire India Against Corruption movement, it happened through Facebook. I was one of the administrator of the India Against Corruption Facebook page. And then the whole protest around Nirbhaya case, I had a page at that time called Occupy Rajpath. And immediately we had around 10,000 followers, and everyone was committing that at this particular time they will be there, and people actually turned up and they actually participated in that protest. Aam Aadmi Party, I think the entire print and electronic media was against us in the first election that we were contesting, and the entire campaign that we took on, it was either door to door in each and every constituency, or it was on Facebook and Twitter. So I think yes, social media has that kind of potential, has that kind of power, has that kind of connectivity. And nowadays, I think most of us, when we see a news on TV or read something on a newspaper, we definitely go back to Twitter and Facebook and we try to cross-check what's actually happening, yeah.
Yeah, that's very important. That's very, very important. Okay, I'm going to open the discussion to the floor. So are there any questions that we would like to ask Mr. Kapil Mishra? Yes. Could we have a mic, please? Please, my request is just ask questions.
Hi, my name is Jaideep Khanduja, and I have two questions, one to Leher, one to Kapil. So, Kapil, my first question to you, politicians, why don't politicians have plans for the month and achievements for the month like we have in corporate world? Why can't it be implemented like every politician who has been voted as a winner by people? Why can't they publish a charter of their month's activities, the plan for the month? And at the end of the month, they publish how much they achieved, how much they could not achieve. So what I feel is, after all the efforts and good wishes of people, when politicians get selected, they live very easy life. In reality, which is not so. So why can't it be implemented? My question to you.
I think it is happening. For example, we have a Aam Aadmi Party manifesto tracker online live. Every day we are updating it, and you can just go online and find out how many manifesto promises that we have made, how many have been fulfilled, how many are we working upon, and how many we have not even touched yet. For example, in my ministry, Delhi, in water ministry, I came out with a 100-day report. I came out with a 6-month report. I came out with an annual report. And on around June 15th, we will be actually releasing a report of all my ministries, because I will be completing 1 year of as a minister. So that is happening right now. It is not being talked about so popularly because not many people are doing it, but that has started happening. For example, even on the entire water plan, we have a very clear-cut plan of covering an entire city by piped water supply by December 2017. We have made the plan public. We have the entire timeline of how exactly are we going about it, and the budget that we have put for it live on our website, Delhi Jal Board website. So that kind of initiatives, that kind of attempts we are making. But yes, definitely there is a lot more to be done.
So you mean, do you have a monthly scoring system kind of thing?
We do have a live tracker, and it is online. Anyone can go and check how many of the manifesto promises have been fulfilled and what exactly are going on the other promises. Yeah.
So Leher, I have a question for you. Like you said, Tanmay made a joke about Sachin Tendulkar and Lata Mangeshkar, the two legendaries. My question is, nudists are there in the world, and they are legalized also in many countries. Would you like to have nudists existing in your colonies or coming for the conference if you are telling for people to have big heart and accept that joke as a joke? Thank you.
I think people get hurt in India very easily. I think we have to make ourselves a little stronger.
No. My question is to you. Would you accept nudists as a reality?
I think there's nothing wrong in being nude. It's a part of who we are. And if somebody wants to, they're most welcome to. I am nobody to judge them.
I want to add one thing. ये जो हमारी भावनाएं हैं ना, इनको हम बड़ा कमजोर करके रखते हैं. छोटी छोटी बातों पे भड़क जाती हैं. किसी की भावना तन्मय भट्ट के जोक पे भड़क जाती है, किसी की भावना इस बात पे भड़क जाती है कि गुलाम अली साहब को गाना है कि नहीं गाना है, किसी की इस बात पे भड़क जाती है कि तुम्हें खाना क्या है, किसी को पहनना क्या है, मोबाइल कितने बजे यूज़ करना है लड़कियों को, जीन्स पहननी है कि नहीं पहननी, बीफ. इतना कमज़ोर किसी का रिलीजन नहीं है हिंदुस्तान में. आई डोंट थिंक माई रिलीजन और योर रिलीजन इज़ सो वीक कि कोई सामने वाला कितने बजे रात को घर से क्या पहन के निकल रहा है इसी में मेरा भगवान डर जाए या भड़क जाए. आई थिंक दैट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. या
Okay, we'll just take one more question.
Just one question to Mr. Kapil Mishra ji. I'm a very big fan of Aam Aadmi Party as well as Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. They have changed the political, history of India. But why are they interfering? I mean, why are you interfering in the corporate structure of, India? Why are you ordering Uber not to include pricing surge? Why are you asking Ola not to increase the fare of, cabs? I mean, let the business happen in their own way. That's it.
Not to increase. Why we are not allowing them to increase?
Yeah.
Okay. I think first time I am. That's the beauty of your platform. Otherwise, नेताओं से ऐसे सवाल कोई नहीं पूछता कि क्यों नहीं बढ़ने दे रहे. सब कहते हैं बढ़ा क्यों रहे हो. I think what Ola and Uber tried to do during the odd even initiative, they tried to just take the entire city for a ride. It was very clear that people were looking for cabs, and there was good demand for that, and they had the supply. But they just suddenly decided. For example, I live in Civil Line, and when I was booking a cab from my home, it was charging different, and when I was booking a cab from Civil Line metro station, it was charging exactly the double the amount. You can't justify that, and that cannot be allowed.
All over the world.
Okay.
Uber has a app, and it has a logic based on which they just determine the price. I mean, it's based on demand and supply. So it's happening all over the world. Only in Delhi and few states, they are actually imposing their order on tech companies, which is against their natural growth.
It is one thing to be a technology firm, and it is another thing to be a blackmailer. I think we are not going to allow that in this city.
All right, we've just got time for, a quick question. The lady there, could you please take the mic there? Yes.
Good evening, sir. Myself, Himanshi, and I'm a fashion blogger. I don't know if it's the right platform to ask this question, but since most of us are bloggers here and most of the esteemed people are present here, I want to ask this. Do you really think that blogging as an industry can ever be a part of the organized sector? And if yes, what is the government's initiative to do in helping do such things? Thank you.
I think yes, for sure. And if all the bloggers can come together and get organized, why not? But what government can do about it, I think then it becomes two contradictory things. Getting something done through government and doing something with independent individual bloggers. I think these are two contradictory things. If you want to actually involve government into it, I don't think most of us are going to like it. I don't think so, yeah.
Regularizing the content, I'm not talking about that. I mean, of course, that's freedom of expression issues, and there are a lot more things associated with it. What I'm talking about is the industry as a whole. Do you ever think that bloggers are going to get their due of, representing the country itself? So that's what I mean.
For example, just now I was talking to Arjun, and I would like to make it very public right here. For example, what each of you is doing about this city. I still feel why you are not working with Delhi tourism. I think there has to be a platform where Delhi tourism and SoDelhi and all of you who are writing about various things about this city, we should be working together.
Exactly.
And I think here I would like to invite you all, and I would like to invite SoDelhi to create that kind of platform where we can interact with each other, where we can learn from each other, where you can tell us what exactly needed to be done in this city, and where we can also make you aware about some of the government initiatives. I think that kind of interaction needed to be there, should start from today.
I think that's my answer, and that's the quickest answer anybody could get, actually, with an intervention. Thank you
Great.
so much for that.
Thank you. We're just going to take one last question from Sid, our anchor here.
Sir, my question is a little controversial, so if you're not comfortable answering it, it's perfectly all right, but I'd still like to ask you, on a public platform, you mentioned that what Uber and Ola were doing is blackmailing, right? That's quote unquote. But when I go to an auto rickshaw wala and this is going on, odd and even he asks me for twice the price. He does. That is also blackmailing. So the simple solution is then you don't take him or you walk. Just because Uber is a technology platform that you can hijack and say हम ban कर देंगे. अगर हम ban करने लगे तो फिर computers भी ban कर दो, jobs नहीं हो रहे. That logic I feel somewhere does not make sense. And the government time and again uses this rhetorical prehistoric logic time and again. नहीं ये चल नहीं रहा, ban कर दो, हमारी समझ के बाहर है. It is a technology platform, right? There is a logic behind it. It's the same way airlines work, and this is done time and again for airlines also.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, no, let me just finish.
Yeah.
So even airlines are blackmailing, right? The railways are not blackmailing because those prices are fixed by the government and they've perpetually been in losses. And we as consumers are paying for the railways our entire lives. So because we are not blackmailed, we keep on paying taxes. So if a business with a supply and demand is trying to make money, okay, what is the higher moral ground over here? It is not a public transportation. Bhai, agar buses mein log kehte hain ki double price do, then it's fair. It's a public service. Then that should not be allowed. But if a private business wants to charge X, what is the problem?
Let me tell you the problem.
Yeah.
First of all, I think you are mixing two extremes.
Right.
So saying no to computer and asking Uber and Ola to regulate themselves, these are two extremes. So you can't mix those things.
Okay, sir,
Let me just answer.
Look at the airlines as a better
Yeah,
example.
let me just answer. I think even airline, I don't justify that. So let me just answer it. One, cabs are public transport under Indian law. It's not an individual's private car. It is a public transport, part of public transport, based on the number of cabs in a particular city, including the number of Uber and Ola. Any state government actually creates their entire transport policy. So one sudden day, if one individual business owner decide that their taxis will not run in the city, it is actually like a strike. Auto wala bhi karta hai, taxi wala bhi karta hai, Uber wala bhi kar raha tha. जो ऑटो वाले के साथ करते हैं, टैक्सी वाले के साथ करते हैं, उबर वाले के साथ भी करेंगे. That's one thing. As far as logic is concerned, what is the logic? The day Uber and Ola will make their logic public, on what basis they are increasing the prices and on what basis they are decreasing the prices. Just let them make the logic public, we will accept that. They don't have any logic behind it. They don't have any software equation behind it. It is happening randomly. I'm giving you my example from my home in Civil Line and from Civil Line metro station. It is 4 times. You just can't justify that in a city. You just can't justify anyone doing that. And I think that's what the role of government is. And we are the only government, we have actually ensured that shuttle service by organizations like Uber and Ola should be allowed. Premium bus service should be allowed. We are doing that. We are allowing that. We are bringing an entire new notification and legislation in support of that. So we are accommodating the new initiatives. And let me tell you, as Minister of Tourism, I know that something like Uber and Ola is the future. We are not fighting against that. But just because they hold this power over technology, just because they have this power of taking the whole city, entire city on ransom on a particular day, we can't allow that.
All right. I think that answers your question. A little request to all the bloggers here. You know, I understand that you're all very influential. You know, the whole idea behind the Confluence means that you guys have influence. Please use it responsibly. You have a lot of power when you all come together. So if you can help make a social change for whatever social cause you might believe in, I think you guys should go on and support it and do your bit there. Thank you so much, Kapil, for being here. It was a pleasure being in conversation with you, and thank you.
Thanks for inviting. And again, I would like to request SoDelhi, next get together should be with Delhi Tourism, and let's see what all can be done together. Yeah, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Jai Hind.